The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Oh, the pain. Legendary Jet fan and longtime sports talk radio host Joe Benigno has a bold plan to transform the Jets in 2024. Is Joe on the mark? We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Show number 2 on the day as we're back to our normal schedule of 2 shows per day, Monday through Friday. If you want a third show, how about a national show? Tonight, Mad Dog Sports Radio, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time, Sirius XM Channel 82, or the Sirius XM app. You can listen to yours truly tonight and tomorrow night. So looking forward to talking sports tonight on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Before we get into what Joe B had to say, I am excited to announce for the first time in the history of the Jake Asman Show, we will be having our first ever watch party for a Jets game to kick off the upcoming season. Jets at Panthers, August 17th. It is a Saturday night. Join me and your fellow Asmaniacs at T Squared Social in Midtown Manhattan. Folks, this place is awesome. I have a ton of more information coming over the next couple weeks, but 40 days until our first ever watch party event at T Squared Social in Midtown Manhattan, just blocks from Grand Central Station. So if you're coming from Connecticut, Long Island, Jersey, or any area of the city, it is easy to get to. RSVP to this event. It is free, but RSVP in the description for this video. We have to get as many Jet fans in there as possible. It's a blast. This place is owned by Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake. There's a golf simulator. There's bowling, ping pong, darts, and oh yeah, tons of TVs, great food. We're going to have drink specials for all the Asmaniacs, which is why you have to RSVP. So check it out, folks. Just announced. Jets at Panthers, the second Jet preseason game. Jets, 7 o'clock kickoff in Carolina. We'll be watching it at T Squared Social in Manhattan. So keep that in mind if you're looking for something to do on a Saturday night next month. All right, more info on that as we get closer, but I want to make sure I shared the news now that it is official. Our first watch party, first of what I believe will be many watch parties at T Squared Social, August 17th. Check it out. Jets at Panthers. With that said, let's hear from one of the biggest Jet fans on the planet, Joe Benigno, longtime talk show host in the market, now the host of the Oh the Pain podcast, where you can listen to Joe wherever you get your podcast. This was Joe B channeling his inner Rex Ryan with a plan to transform the Jets in 2024.
If I was running this football team, my offense I would be going back to the days of Rex Ryan, ground and pound. Run the ball with Breece Hall. He's one of the best backs in football. He's right up there. I mean, I think he's as good as anybody. Can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run. Run the ball with Breece Hall. You got this kid you drafted from Wisconsin. They're very high on him. I believe, what was his name? Allen. That's what I want to see. And throw the ball off the running game. And, I don't want to see Rodgers throwing 40 passes a game. I got to tell you that. I don't want to see it.
So, look, I don't think Joe's off base with this. Now, let's remember, though, part of the reason why the Jets went to the ground and pound with Rex was because they had an inexperienced quarterback. In 2009, Mark Sanchez was a rookie on a team that was stacked around him. The Jets had the best offensive line in the league that season. The Jets also had a stud running back in Thomas Jones. And by the end of that season, Sean Green started to really emerge as a real ball player for the Jets. We saw it. And Sanchez struggled as a rookie, as most quarterbacks do. And there's a reason why the Jets had to run the ball the way they did. That was their only way of winning. They had a great defense. It was ball control offense, ground and pound, bleed the clock, and that's how the Jets were able to sneak into the playoffs that year at 9-7. And as we all know, go to their first of 2 straight AFC championship games. So should the Jets ground and pound on offense in 2024? It won't look like it did in 2009. It's a nice idea from Joe, but you're not going to run the ball the amount of times the Jets did. That's just not today's NFL anymore. It doesn't happen. But I will say this. The idea of running the ball a lot for the Jets, especially I believe early on in the season, is something they should definitely do. First off, Aaron Rodgers is coming off a major injury. And even though he's 100%, and even though he suffered that injury back in week 1 of last year, you don't want him throwing 40-plus times a game, especially early on when you're the better team out of your first 5 games of the year. You're the better team in 4 of those games. So why are you throwing the ball all over the yard? Why are you trying to throw the ball 40 times a game against the Tennessee Titans in week 2? Why are you trying to throw the ball 40 times a game against the crappy New England Patriots when you're at home and it's a short week? We saw what Breece Hall did against New England last year in the final game of the season. So you wouldn't want to be running or throwing the ball 40-plus times. So Joe's right. But I think the NFL is so different nowadays that you're not going to be able to replicate ground and pound because you have Aaron Rodgers. And he's so smart. He'll check out of plays. He'll get the ball in the playmaker's hands. Aaron's going to call his own offense in a lot of situations. And he's not someone who's about throwing the ball 45 times a game so he could put up lofty numbers. That's not really Aaron Rodgers. In fact, if you look at Aaron Rodgers' stats, Aaron Rodgers is not known for throwing for close to 5,000 yards passing every single season. This is a guy that has no problem running the ball on early downs, and he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time off play action. You set up play action by having a ground game, which the Jets should have. And it's not just Breece Hall, right? The Jets also drafted Braylon Allen, who the team seems very high on. They drafted Isaiah Davis, who the team, once again, seems very high on. And here's the biggest thing the Jets have done. We talk about the offensive line for protecting Aaron Rodgers. We're not talking enough about the Jets O-line for being a reason why their running game is going to be significantly better in 2024. So while it won't be, ground and pound, Thomas Jones style 2009 Jets, right? It won't. They should be able to have an offense where you're feeding Breece Hall 20 touches a game. You're giving Braylon Allen an opportunity to make some plays. That should be the offense, especially early. Ease Rodgers back in. And if it's a tight game late, you got the quarterback who could take you down the field and go win that game. But I don't think when you look at the expectations for this Jets offense, they're going to be able to ground and pound Sanchez, Rex Ryan style. I don't see it that way. That team led the NFL in rushing because they had to, and they also were equipped to do so. That O-line was the best in the league, and while the Jets O-line is much better, it's not the 2009 Jets O-line. But I will say this. Tyron Smith, phenomenal player in both pass protection and against the run. John Simpson is better against the run than he is against the pass. He's your new starting left guard. Joe Tippmann, really, really good in the running game. AVT, as great as he is as a pass protector, he is phenomenal in the running game. Morgan Moses, solid at both. You could run the ball, and the Jets should run the ball. They should make life as easy as possible for Aaron Rodgers coming off this injury. So I don't know if they'll lead the NFL in rushing. I doubt it. I don't see that happening. But if you remember what the Jets did in 2009, Mark Sanchez only threw 364 times that entire season. Then you look at the rushing. Thomas Jones carried the ball that year 331 times. Sean Green carried it another 108 times. Leon Washington, before he went down with an injury, 72 times. Brad Smith and the Wildcat, 18 times. That won't be the Jets in 2024 when you have Aaron Rodgers. But the idea of being able to establish the run and ease Rodgers in, that should be what they look to do, especially now that they're changing to a zone blocking scheme. And they're better equipped to do it. So you can't have ground and pound, but I do think you can have an offense that is led by Breece Hall, that is led by having a punishing ground attack that then sets up Aaron Rodgers to throw close to 30 touchdowns in a season, which he still can do. Like, you look at Aaron Rodgers' stats, he throws over 4,000 yards a lot in his career, but he's not thrown for 4,800 yards in the season, 4,500 yards in the season. In fact, look at the 2 years that Rodgers won his most recent MVPs in 2020 and 2021. Aaron Rodgers in 2020 threw for 4,299 yards. We'll round up by a yard. We'll say it's 4,300. 2021, 4,100. So you could still have a dominant running game, and Rodgers could still have close to 4,000, if not more than 4,000 yards passing. Now, in 2020, he threw 48 touchdowns versus 5 picks, and then he followed that up with a quote-unquote down year, 37 touchdowns only and 4 touchdowns. Just insane. They don't need that version of Rodgers, as we've discussed ad nauseum on this show. But I'll tell you what, they're going to have an offense that for the first time since Ryan Fitzpatrick and the 2015 Jets went out there and won 10 games, they should have an offense that's top 10 in the NFL. Because where's the weakness on this team offensively? Where's the weakness on offense? Now, if you think Rodgers is getting hurt on the 4th play again, then all right, yeah, Tyrod Taylor is a great backup. He's probably not a great starter for 17 games. So if that's your expectation for the Jets, you're going to have to find a different show because no one's going to want to talk about that. Let's operate under the premise that Aaron does not play every game. Can he play 15 games? I think that's realistic. This is not a guy with chronic injuries in his career. So if he plays 15 games and Tyrod plays the other 2, with this offensive line, barring everyone getting hurt again, which I guess we can't rule out, but let's just say the Jets have conventional injuries for once. They're equipped to handle a Tyron Smith injury. They have more depth on the offensive line than they've had ever under Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh. The guys who had to play last year have some more experience in case they got to play now this year. You have more weapons than you had at this time a year ago. Look, Mike Williams, I get it. He's coming off injury. But this is not a guy that misses a ton of time. Last year, he did. He plays through his injuries. Go look at his games played in his career. Malachi Corley, I'm high on him. Xavier Gibson could take a step. They have weapons. They have, in my opinion, 2 legit tight ends, including maybe one of the more underrated tight ends in the league, and Tyler Conklin. They don't have holes on this offense. Maybe you have some depth concerns at receiver. But you have arguably the best running back in the league in Breece Hall and a top 5 level receiver in Garrett Wilson. That should be enough. That should be enough. So the offense should still go through Breece Hall. They should still be looking to run the ball because Rodgers is disgusting off play action. But it will not be the 09 Jets where they led the NFL in rushing and they're grounding and pounding. I mean, I just looked it up. The 2009 Jets, they ran the ball 607 times and only passed the ball 393 times. You're not going to get that. You're not even going to get what you had in 2010 when Sanchez then threw a lot more, right? They added Santonio Holmes. He threw 17 touchdowns in the regular season. Rodgers will throw more than that. Once again, the number for Aaron Rodgers at all the sports books is 26.5 touchdowns thrown, 3,700 passing yards thrown. He does that, you sign for it in a second, and I think he could go over both. But the expectations are simple for this offense. Score points, man. That's it. How many games have we watched during this playoff drought where they can't even muster a first down, where if they get a field goal, we're thanking the gods. That all changes this year. It has to. Otherwise, everyone's got to go. Because there's no reason why this team can't be top 10 on offense. They should be. They should have a top 5 defense and a top 10 offense. That, to me, is a fair expectation for this Jets team. You have the horses. Now go do it. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Appreciate everyone who's tuned into the show live right now. Hit the like button. Some of you have reached out saying, Jake, I can't find the show. It's not showing up. The YouTube algorithm has been showing you guys different shows because I already know you're going to come back to my show. So if you want to be notified when I go live, make sure you turn on notifications and hit all. That way you get alerted when I'm going live. And even better, here's an idea. Join my Patreon, get in the Discord, and I notify everybody what the schedule is that day when I'm going live. So thanks to everyone who's on Patreon. Thanks to everyone who supports us there. Appreciate everyone who tunes in each and every day to this program. And a big shout out to Joseph Tella and Frankie Castle, who are our 2 most recent Patreon subscribers. Comments, questions, super chats. We will get into all of that. Before we do that, just a quick update. We need 188 more channel members for our latest Asmaniac emoji. And it's fitting because it is indeed the Asmaniac emoji. So consider becoming an Asmaniac by hitting the join button on the left-hand side, or maybe somebody will gift you a channel membership, which is what happened before our show this afternoon even began. Bobby Midnight coming through for the people, gifted a channel membership to someone before the show, once again, even started. I can't even find it, so I took a screenshot because there's so many comments. So Bobby Midnight, his membership went to 0.5. So 0.5, you're now a channel member, courtesy of Bobby Midnight. So now we are 187 away from the Asmaniac emoji going live. So appreciate Bobby for that, and shout out to everyone who supports us by gifting memberships to your fellow Jet fans. Here it is right here. A Bobby Midnight gifted membership.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's open it up. Comments, questions, super chats. Always cut the line, which is why we begin with this one from the big fella who says, Joe is wrong. We don't need ground and pound. What we need is a balanced attack. A balanced attack keeps defenses honest. I completely agree with that, right? You don't need ground and pound. The threat of the run will open up the pass. The threat of the pass is going to open up the run. And there's no better examples of this than when you go back and watch the All-22 from last year's nightmare of a New York Jets season. How many times did teams playing the Jets show Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, or Trevor Siemian zero respect, stack in the box, because they knew the Jet quarterback was incapable of making them pay, being accurate downfield, taking advantage of single coverage? You know who will not have that problem? Aaron Rodgers. When there's 8 people in the box, you know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do? Laugh, check out of it, and get the ball to Garrett Wilson. Get the ball to Malachi Corley. Find Mike Williams downfield if it's one-on-one on the outside. What Mike Williams does, as well as any receiver in the league. You will not see this at all this year. Here's a montage of the amount of times teams said, Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian, you guys suck. We're putting 8 in the box because we're not going to let Breece Hall beat us. And by the way, Breece Hall still beat them plenty of times because he's that special, which is why I think, to Benigno's point, they should have Breece Hall being the dude in this offense. It's just not going to be Rex Ryan style ground and pound. But seriously, watch these plays. Where's Breece supposed to go? The lack of respect tells you all you need to know. And we saw this play after play, game after game. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick of it. I really am. I'm sick of it. It pains me to watch this, but now I will spin it forward and say it is a positive to watch this because this won't happen anymore. These are all Aaron Rodgers checking out of these plays if they dare to put 8 in the box. I mean, there's 9 in the box on this play. What a joke. What a joke. The word to use is balance. That's the offense the Jets should have. The big fella nailed it. Balance on offense. SXBX writes in with a super chat. I want a balanced attack. Great defense with turnovers and sacks and 6 special teams. Let's go. One time. Head coach still scares me in a big spot. Look, the only way the Jets, and specifically the head coach, can win over the fan base is by winning. You want to have your doubts? I get it. I choose to be positive on July 8th because I see the talent. And I do think Robert Saleh has learned a lot through his first 3 years. And I think the one thing you can't say Saleh doesn't know what he's doing is coaching defense. And if Aaron is just average to above average, they should be able to win 10 games. If he's better than that, like I believe he will be, they should be able to be division champs. That's how you got to look at it. Gustbuster hotline is open. First up is Rob, the Jet fan from Glenhead. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Jake. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Rob.
How was your 4th?
It was good. A lot of fun. Good to be back on Long Island with my friends.
Awesome. So you didn't make it to Neil's party, right?
Unfortunately, I did not because I had to work early Sunday on NFL radio yesterday.
I felt bad, too. Originally, he had it on the 24th. I definitely would have went. And then he switched it to Saturday. And you saw, I called in with my family. I couldn't. I couldn't. But it is what it is. I'll see Neil real soon. But just kind of going back off of what you were saying, yeah, I don't agree with Benigno. This is not Rex Ryan era with Mark Sanchez. We don't need to ground and pound. I mean, there might be specific games that you ground and pound because of the way the defense is playing you. That's an option. It's not a style that we need to play throughout the whole entire year because we're going to have great balance. Come on, you're comparing Mark Sanchez to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's a joke. Even Aaron Rodgers, being 40 years old, is so much better. He knows how to call plays. He knows how to check off to. You're not going to need to do ground and pound. All right, granted, I get what he's saying. He doesn't have to throw for 40 touchdowns and so many yards and stuff. We're not saying that. But it's kind of like what the big fellow said and yourself, Jake. It's somewhere in between. What lies is because we're going to have a well-balanced team. And then you talk about Brees getting possibly 2,000 yards, but half of those yards are going to be coming off of passes, right?
Yeah, look, I think you take Christian McCaffrey's best year and you could project Brees to have a year like that if he's healthy too.
I think so. And then you know what, Jake, whatever we get from Allen, who they're saying looks sensational so far in these practice games, and they're saying that he's catching the ball left and right. I don't know what the heck JJ was talking about, that he can't catch the ball. I mean, that's not true. The Robbie from X Factor says that he looks so good so far. So now there's another element to the game where you're going to get a lot more receptions from the backfield too. Plus Mike Williams that we're adding as opposed to Lazard, who's a tremendous upgrade. And then we have our best Garrett out there, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing him the ball. I mean, this is going to be well balanced. This is going to be. We're not going to have this issue. I don't think that we have to rely on ground and pound to the days of Rex Ryan. It's ridiculous. We're somewhere in the middle there. We can do a little of both.
Well, yeah, and once again, ground and pound was a nice saying. It was the identity of that team, but it was also the reason why they had to. Also, the reason why they had to do that is because they had a rookie quarterback who was playing like a rookie quarterback. Now, give Sanchez credit. Come playoff time, he made big throws both years, and he got a lot better from rookie season to year 2. But Mark Sanchez was never an elite quarterback. They had to run the ball the way they did because they had to overcome the fact that they were trying to win with a quarterback in most big games. They didn't have the best quarterback in the game. That's not the case with the Jets this year. Like when the Jets went into the playoffs, those 2 years with Sanchez, they had the worst quarterback in every game. Carson Palmer, Phillip Rivers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger. That's why they had to run the ball. That's why they had ground and pound. It fit the identity of the team. Rex did a great job coaching it, getting everyone to buy into it, but it was out of necessity. You're not running ground and pound with Aaron Rodgers in 2024. You need to be balanced. That's the word. A balanced offensive attack. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. If you like the idea, the concept of the Jets scoring points, like the video. I'm trying to manifest it by wearing my Victory Monday shirt here on this fine Monday. Check out the first show earlier with Will Parkinson if you want more Jets talk. Little teaser. Will always joins us on Mondays. Gave a little Will Parkinson on a Monday here in July. Kind of wet the beak a little bit as we got just 15 days till training camp. Dakota says Garrett Wilson is top 2 behind Justin Jefferson. Sign me up for that take. I think Garrett's going to have a hard time cracking the top 2. Can he be in the top 5 by the end of the year? He could have that type of year. I think he's in the top 10 by the end of the year. Jesus Jerry, Jake coffee flavored Doritos. Why? Didn't know that was a thing, Jesus. Boomtown, are you taking calls on tonight's show? Asking for a friend. Oh, you bet I am. 888 Mad Dog 6, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. tonight, Boomtown. We'll see you there. Roger writes in, Jake, I predict A. Rodgers sets single season yards passing record to silence the critics and the pundits rooting against him as his career is dwindling towards closure. Please, inject it into my veins. No complaints out of me, Roger. Jet Buff writes in, I think the reason they went after 2 running backs in the draft is because they will run more, but A-Rod will get his throws. They should look to run. How do you keep your quarterback healthy, by the way? Have a great running game. It's not just protecting Rodgers. The less he has to throw, the less chance he has to maybe get hurt. That's part of it, too. The odds are in your favor when Aaron Rodgers is just handing it off versus having to drop back. That's part of this as well. More of your calls on the Gustbuster hotline, but first, let's talk about Underdog Fantasy. Today's show is presented by my friends at Underdog. Folks, fantasy football season's right around the corner. You could already start drafting your team with Underdog. They have the best ball where you set your lineup and forget all about it. And if you win, you win. Win some money. They also have daily fantasy and my favorite, the Underdog Pick'em. So pick players in your favorite games. Pick individual athletes. We got big UFC fights coming up this upcoming weekend in Denver. By the way, I interviewed Thug Rose earlier. That will be up on the YouTube channel, and I will be airing it on my radio show tonight on Sirius. So if you're a fight fan, check out that. She's fighting Saturday. You could have a Thug Rose pick 'em for Underdog Fantasy. So keep that in mind. Plus baseball, plus NBA Summer League. I'm telling you, Underdog has something for everyone. If you haven't played yet, sign up using my promo code Asman, and they will give you a 50% deposit match up to $250. That's promo code Asman with Underdog Fantasy. Check it out today. All right, back to the calls right now. Nick T is up next. Hello, Nick.
Jake, what's going on, man?
Nick, what's up?
Nothing. So this ground and pound idea is something I feel like is just overused, this term. Like, I feel like every team that doesn't feel as confident necessarily in their quarterback uses that term. Like, we're going to run the ball, ground and pound this whole year. So it's kind of relative to me. But the thing I think about, I agree with you. I think they're not going to run the ball anywhere near as much as that team in 2009. But what I think about, and you gave a perfect segue, Peyton Manning. I keep thinking about that intelligence. Maybe like the ability, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, you recognize when the box is stacked with 8 guys that you can play off of that. Quick screens. You don't need to throw the ball 50 yards. You can play off of what the defense gives you. How many running backs over the years? Donald Brown, Joseph Adai, after he had Edgerrin James for all those years, and he was just spreading out the box. There's only 5 or 6 guys in the box. Here, Breece Hall, Joseph Adai, whoever it is, right? Insert name here. That's what's going to happen. That's what I expect, is that you have the intelligence of a Hall of Fame quarterback, and his athletic ability is, I think you'd probably agree with me, right? Better than Tom Brady's in terms of every measurable that you'd want, like arm strength, athleticism, right? Mobility. So all of that, knowing all of that, why can't he amend his game to the game that Tom Brady did for 20 plus years and won with late in his career. And I think that's what we're going to see with this offense, not the ground and pound, but just the checkoffs and the quick passes that beat defense. You have to get down the field, death by 1,000 cuts.
100%. And I think that is what they will be trying to do offensively. Like, I don't think this is going to be Rodgers throwing 40 times a game. I don't think they want to do that. There's a reason why they drafted 2 running backs. They have Breece Hall. We never got to see Rodgers work with Breece Hall last year. All we saw was one handoff where Breece went 25 yards on his first touch, and we never got to see it again after that. The reason why that play was able to work is because they got to respect Aaron Rodgers as a passer. They can't put 9 guys in the box like they did for basically every game that a Jet quarterback started last year for almost every play.
Exactly. And the one thing I know you posted, Dakota, something, I don't think, as much as I love Garrett Wilson, I don't think he's going to be top 5 this year because there's so many mouths to feed on this offense. And I think Rodgers is smart enough. And this is the benefit of a good offense. We have so many different weapons to use that a smart quarterback is just going to play the matchups. And I don't think that he's going to eye Wilson. Like, he's going to get his targets, but I don't think Wilson's going to get that top 5, whether it's fantasy yardage numbers, because there's so many mouths to feed on the offense that the defense is going to dictate Mike Williams or maybe even like Lazard or Corley on one of the routes or Breece Hall. So there's so many people that are going to get those stats that I don't see Wilson getting top 5.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of mouths to feed, but I do think Garrett Wilson is going to get fed a lot. I mean, when you look at Rodgers' MVP years, look at the target share between Devontae and then everybody else.
No, it's true. Like, he gives him the ball. He's going to get his wide receiver 1 targets. I just think that ultimately, eventually, right, everyone realizes, all right, let's double team Garrett Wilson, or let's double team X-Fact, like the old Belichick philosophy of like, let's take out their best players. So, and Rodgers, this is what we didn't have and we don't appreciate, and we hopefully will this year, is he recognizes the secondary and tertiary receivers are going to be the ones that create the mismatches, and that's where the big plays are going to happen.
Look, they have an unbelievable amount of weapons around them. There's no excuses. However the offense needs to win that week, that should be the offense. Doesn't need to be an identity at ground and pound. I go back to the word balance. Some weeks teams might try to take Garrett Wilson out of the game. That's where other guys step up. But the great ones are great. And that is the bottom line. Super chat from Bang Mateo. We can run Breece like a workhorse for 2 to 3 years top. Breece Hall is in the prime of his career right now. He's a running back. I'm not worried about 2 years from now, 3 years from now, this year. I don't know how long they have Aaron Rodgers in this window. I think this year or next year for sure. And then who knows? Use Breece like he is Curtis Martin. That's the equivalent. Like he's Christian McCaffrey. He's the best running back in the AFC. By the end of the year, maybe he's the best in the NFL if he stays healthy. Tyrone Garcia, super chat, cuts the line. A good run game will make Aaron Rodgers even more dangerous. I have a feeling, Jake, the Jets will have a dominant year. Go Jets.
Oh, nice.
I like that. Craig in Australia, he called the show earlier today, and he writes in, Jake live when I go to bed and Jake live when I wake up. Must do this more often. Love the USA fam. Go Jets. Shout out to our guy, Craig. He called in earlier. The boomerang's right here, Craig. It's ready to roll. Jets worldwide. Jake, the merch store needs Jake Asman show and has Maniac stickers, bumper stickers, window clings. Off to Italy tomorrow to spread the Jets worldwide. Ciao. Safe flight, Jets worldwide. You're in luck. The merch store will indeed have both. It is in the works. Get pumped. GMB Jep says, damn, those emojis are fire. Well, if you become a channel member, GMB, you could use them. Or maybe someone will make it rain, which hasn't happened yet besides Bobby, and you'll be gifted a membership. But make sure you turn on gift receipts. Go into your settings and turn it on. This is our next emoji once we hit the next membership threshold. Mike's predicting 4,556 passing yards for Rodgers, 39 touchdowns, 6 picks. He might win an MVP with those numbers, Mike. Roger says, Jake, I think it's about time to start raining memberships. Get your Gustbuster ready. It's ready, man. We stay ready on this show. More of your calls right now. Up next on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is none other than Gary in Texas. Hello, Gary.
What's going on, Jake? How are you?
Gary, I'm doing well. I'm curious how you're doing after Bobby Midnight seemed to identify you as a woman.
And an attractive woman, which is strange, really, really odd. I don't really know what to make of that, so I'm just going to pretend like it didn't happen.
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Very good looking.
I don't. That's a figment of your imagination. That's a gated creation or something. I don't know what that is. That didn't happen.
Calm your freaky down.
My jersey came in today from Parts Unknown. I got to say, very impressed with the quality, Jake. I'm going to order the Gibson one next, but it's really good.
Who did you order again? Zach Wilson?
Yeah, Zach Wilson. Tony Adams.
I love it.
Get Gibson.
Tony Adams. Shout out to Tony Adams. I got to get him on the show. I had him on the radio show last year. For whatever reason, over the weekend, he liked and commented on my most recent Instagram with Rodgers out of the blue.
He watches the show, obviously, to some degree. I mean, he might not watch every day, but he's clearly watching the show.
Yeah.
He knows who you
Go look at my Instagram at Jake Asman and comment, hey, Tony, come on the show. We'll get him on.
So I got to go to Bonesy's shoe store.
I saw the picture. I meant to pull that. It was great to see that in the Discord. I
got to meet Nate, and I got to meet Chef Kev at the fight, and Mrs. Chef Kev. Really great people. Chef's a great dude. He's just like in person, just like on the show. He's a great dude in person. So that was a lot of fun. But I wanted to, like, the ground and pound idea. Okay, so let's not use the word ground and pound, because when you use the words ground and pound, people get this idea in the head of like the 1942 Oklahoma Sooners offense, or Bill Parcells winning the Super Bowl with Jeff Hostelek. Okay, we're gonna run the football a lot this year. Whatever you want to call it, ground and pound sounds ugly, so let's not call it that. But when you have a quarterback like Rodgers, it makes the run game easy because you can't stuff the box now, because they have to. Even if you're running every down, you still can't stuff the box because you're going to stuff the box off of Rodgers. It's like, I'm going to make an analogy, right? At the fight, everyone says Shakur Stevenson can't punch. That's not true. If Shakur Stevenson couldn't punch, you would just rush him. You wouldn't worry about getting hit. You would just walk in the front door. But you can't do that because his power at least makes you respect it where you don't want to get hit by it, right? And that's what Aaron Rodgers is. Even if you're running every down, you still cannot stuff the box. So I want to run as much as I can. And that's why I kind of went under on my predictions on Rodgers, because they're going to be a run-heavy team. Right. Now, if they get behind, if they're down in the fourth quarter, Rodgers is going to throw.
Well, that's also to your point, because of how good this defense is, why they can run the ball a lot more. Because in theory, you're protecting leads or the game's tied. You're not trailing when then Rodgers has to throw a lot to get you back in the game. He's played on some Packers teams where their defense was terrible. So he had to throw 40 times a game. One, he's Aaron Rodgers in his prime. And two, because that's what the game necessitated. Look how many games Rodgers lost in the playoffs where the defense allowed close to 40 points, or in some games over 40 points. That should never be the case with the Jets. There should not be a single game this year where they allow more than 30 points in a game. That's how good this defense should be. The last 2 years, they've allowed less than 20 points per game. Aaron, in his career, when his defense allows less than 20 points, is 80-10. I won't count week 1 last year because he played 4 plays. Like, so to your point, yeah. And I'll give you another cross-sport analogy. If you're going to make the boxing analogy, Steph Curry's presence on a court. He is the ultimate mover of gravity. You have to account for him at all times. That opens other things up because you know Steph can hit from anywhere. Rodgers has enormous gravity when he's taking a snap or he's under center, because you know he can throw it anywhere and beat you one-on-one on the outside. Or if you try and stack the box, he's going to check out of it. So he could just audible to a run if you then play to protect yourself against the pass. So balance is still the biggest thing.
And right, like the defense, you would imagine is not going to let a lot of points. So you're not going to be behind the games. You're going to have leads, right? So you're not going to have to score 30. You're not going to get into shootouts where you have to go air raid and throw every down. You just the offense and the way that the line is constructed. The way the line is constructed is they got a lot of good run blockers, right? Like your offensive line is constructed to be a very good run blocking offensive line. On top of that, you can't stuff the box. So you can't stuff the box. So it only makes sense to run because everything you've built so far makes the run game easier and better. So, again, Rodgers may not have staggering stats, but he's going to have efficient stats, and he's going to still throw for plenty of touchdowns.
Yep. Look at his 2019 season. Didn't win an MVP, but he still went out there in that year, and he threw for 4,002 yards, 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The Packers' record that season, 13-3. So there's multiple ways to go 13-3 if you're Aaron Rodgers. You could do it that way in 2019, or you could do it the way you did in 2020 and 2021 when he was the MVP of the league, right? So, that's the greatness of Rodgers. He'll play to whatever the strengths of the team are. The strengths of the team, it should be the defense, which is why they should run the ball more and be a ball control offense.
Absolutely, Jake. Thanks.
Before you go, Gary, hold on.
Yeah.
Nate says you got pizza with him at Joe's in Midtown. Let's get a review, Mr. Gas Station Pizza right here.
It was good. It was high quality pizza. Was it worth the wait? Maybe. It was good. I've had better, but it was really, really good pizza.
Where have you had better? Chevron gas station?
I'm a pizza guy. Totono's in Coney Island is my number 1. The original Grimaldi's by the Manhattan Bridge is number 2. I got Spumoni Gardens. L&B is in the top 5. Da Vinci's and Bensonhurst is in the top 5. The Flowers is in the top 10. But it was good though. It's close to that. I gave it an 8.5. I think I gave it. It's really good.
Wow.
It's thin. That's a good score, right? You got to wait a half hour for the pizza. So is it worth
Gary,
it?
do me a favor. Let's just end your call. I think you've had a great call. Let's go out on a high note. All right.
Sounds good.
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Really good looking.
Oh, baby. What a moment in time that was. God. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a man who needs no introduction. When you hear chewing, you know what time it is. It's Charles Gorman time. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Jake. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Charles.
I'm doing great. I had a feeling you were talking about Joe Benigno today.
Yep.
Can you stop with the chewing in the background?
Yeah, go ahead.
I definitely agree with the fans. We don't need the ground and pound mentality. I mean, we need to run the football, don't get me wrong, but the ground and pound days are not really appropriate because when we have a type of quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. It was appropriate for the 2000 Ravens because they didn't have a great quarterback. It was appropriate for Mark Sanchez because he wasn't a great quarterback. But when you have a guy with a resume as legendary and impressive as Aaron Rodgers, you don't need the ground and pound attitude. I mean, yes, you need to run the football immensely, which is why Aaron Rodgers, if you look at from 2019 to 2021, he had a lot of success statistically speaking, was because he had a great running game and a good defense. But, when you also look at the weapons he has, hopefully the offensive line stays healthy. Hopefully, Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, they all stay healthy. But the thing is that, we don't need the ground and pound because Aaron Rodgers at 40, I still think Aaron Rodgers has got something to prove this year. I think he could have the type of year, maybe have the greatest quarterback season the Jets have had probably since Vinny Testaverde's 98 season.
I would hope. He should.
I even talked about the 98 Jets on my channel a few days ago.
Oh, there it is. The Charles Gorman shameless plug. Nicely done, Charles.
I know that was sarcasm, but I had to say that because it was something I really wanted to talk about because I know a lot of people hold that team in such high regard. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because people look at this New York Jet team as something special. And I'm not – could you stop with that chewing, damn it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're playing my chewing noises in the background. I know what you're doing.
That's not you?
I'm not chewing. Look.
Thank you for that visual, Charles.
There's nothing in my mouth. And the reason why I mention it is because, what made the 98 Jets such a special team was not only the players, but the coaching staff we had back then, too. when I look at this Jet team, yeah, the talent on paper looks great. And while we love our defensive coach and our special teams coaches, we still have question marks of our offensive coaches and our head coach. Do I think they could step up? Well, for their sake, they better. Because I'm tired of the BS. I'm tired of the mediocrity. I'm tired of the incompetence. I'm tired of people looking like they have their head shoved up their you-know-what.
Where's that? Where's you-know-what? I'm not following.
It's up where the sun don't shine.
Where doesn't the sun shine? What if it's
Fine,
cloudy?
I'll say it. Have their head up their ass.
Charles, this is a family show.
That's what I was trying to say, but you were like, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about,
Charles.
man?
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
Come on, man.
Anyway, I just wanted to pop in and say hi. Hope all is well with you and your family. I had a good 4th. How was your 4th?
It was excellent. It was everything and more I could have asked for.
My 4th was good. We had a barbecue. We had ribs. We had chicken wings. We had burgers.
Same type of chicken that's used in the chicken soup?
No, different ones.
Okay.
Still obsessed with that chicken soup, huh?
Yep.
Figures.
How many hot dogs did you eat, Charles?
I didn't have any hot dogs. I had macaroni salad. I had burger. I had chicken wings.
Really?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was really good.
You strike me as a hot dog guy.
I do like hot dogs, don't get me wrong, especially the Costco brand, the Kirkland brand.
Ooh.
The bigger ones. No Diddy.
Charles, thank you.
Have a good day, Jake.
What a call. You like hot dogs, but you didn't have any on July 4th, Charles. That's questionable. One of our great listeners who's in here right now had 10 hot dogs. Or actually, let me remember what I said. It was 20 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Congrats to listener Carly, who just crushed it on the 4th of July. Slurped down more dogs than anyone could have imagined. Take notes, Charles. That's how it's done. Hit the like button. What a call from Charles Gorman. Ladies and gentlemen, it has started to rain channel memberships from none other than Chef Kevin. How about 5 channel memberships?
Money, 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 money.
Avery, TB, GTA V-Man, Dean Paparella, and sorry, Bobby, South End Auto Detailing, also known as South Ass around these parts. I guess he's back. JJ, Super Chat, Gabby Pizza in Queens, New York. Thank me later. JJ, your Jet takes are so bad. How do I know your food takes aren't at the same level of bad? Because Gary's Jet takes typically are terrible, and we know his food takes are even worse. So I don't know if I could take your food recommendations. I'm going to need multiple people to confirm Gabby Pizza in Queens, New York is legit. Dean writes in, Charles, stop with that loud chewing. Exactly. So this is what I'm talking about, Charles. You can't be doing that. It's a family show, man. David says, would you ever run a Philly special with Rodgers? Yeah, if they could get it to work. Look at Carly trying to deny the 20 hot dog allegations. I had 1 hot dog and he happened to capture it. That's not true. Don't fall for it, people. There's fake news everywhere. Let's see. You got a bunch of people still on hold right now. Shout out to Sarah who's watching the show. Morning, Jake and crew. Shame we're not at the office this morning. We could have called in. Boss man, I'm here at the hospital already. Craig and Sarah, the greatest coworkers that tune into this show. More of your calls right now. We haven't heard from this guy in a couple of days. Let's find out what he did over the long 4th of July weekend.
It's time for V-Man to talk about Puerto Rico and his Puerto Rican roots.
Hello, V-Man.
Yeah, sorry I didn't call it on the 4th. I was feeling a bit under the weather.
How do you feel now?
A little bit better. Honestly, Joe, I think, is being a little off. I mean, he just did in his old school ways. You know, like obviously he grew up in that era of ground and pound football. That's what he knew most of his life growing up. watching football, but that's not the way the game is played anymore. I think the Jets need to be, I think what most of us agree, is a balanced offensive attack. Obviously maybe start out a bit early on in the season with a bit more run oriented to let Rodgers get into, get reacclimated to playing NFL games because he's basically on a whole year without playing. So, but besides that, I don't think you need to just go all in on running the football. I think it's in importance of maintaining balance.
V-Man, here's my question for you. What type of element brought you down on July 4th?
Something I ate. Maybe might be one of those 24 hours.
What happened?
It might be one of those 24-hour bugs.
I see.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't do the whole thing I promised. So
V-Man, don't you worry. Good to have you back.
Okay, thanks.
That's the end of this V-Man call. Time for him to get back to pooping.
Hate to say it, but it kind of makes sense. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Hit the V-Man emoji after that call. Bang Mateo. Why is it that the worst fans are the ones giving us the food takes? Rocco's Rock Pizza and Far Rockaway. I know pizza. I am even more confident in Bang Mateo not having a good food place than JJ or Gary. More of your calls right now. Greg's up next. Hey, Greg.
How you doing, Jake?
What's up, Greg?
Not much. I sent you a message on the Discord. When you get a chance, if you can look at it, I'll give you the skinny of it. A friend of mine has been diagnosed with leukemia. She needs a bone marrow transplant. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, some of the a little more of the details are in the message I gave you. If you can mention it on the show whenever you get a chance, or as many times as you can, I would really appreciate it.
I'd be happy to message it to me personally so I see it, because there's a lot.
I did.
It was like superhero talk in there. Cool. I'll make sure I look at it.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. On to the football takes. I do agree with B-Man about a balanced offense. I would add another word to that is quality. They need quality run plays, quality pass plays. So as long as everybody stays healthy, we should be able to accomplish all of that.
If they get decent health, there is no reason why they should not be a top 10 offense. Zero.
Maybe even top 5, because I see Garrett Wilson getting open plenty of times. It's going to be hard to double team anybody in this offense right now.
I agreed. And that's why they desperately needed to get a number 2 receiver. And that's why Mike Williams is here. Hopefully he could stay healthy. Hopefully Corley could contribute as a rookie pretty quickly. Gibson could take another step. But really, you could, if you're given like X factors for the offense besides like the obvious health, Mike Williams, man. Mike Williams stays relatively healthy and is a true number 2 like he's been in his career. That opens up everything. Look at Keenan Allen with the Chargers. Look at some of his best years. They all coincide with Mike Williams was out there with them.
Right. Exactly. I also would like to shout out the special teams. Special teams is going to be special this year. Hopefully, Herb Charles can make the team. It's going to be a little tight with all the wide receivers and everything like that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. Plus, how do the new rules impact a guy like Herb Charles? Is he more valuable or less valuable with more kickoffs now?
Yeah, I'll have to see what it looks like once the preseason games come and how they test out everything. I want to see what happens. So I honestly hope he makes the team.
Me too. Greg, great call. Speaking of preseason, I mentioned it at the top. Let's say it again. Our first ever Asmaniac watch party is for the Jets-Panthers preseason game on Saturday, August 17th. Please RSVP in the description for this video. We're going to have drink specials. We're going to have giveaways. It's going to be a blast. August 17th, 7 p.m. kickoff. Doors open 6:30. T-Squared Social in Midtown Manhattan, located next to Alden's Shoe Store and also located next to Grand Central. So it's easy to get to if you're coming from Jersey, Connecticut, Westchester, Long Island. If you're already in the city, it is going to be a blast. Carly will be there, and she will attempt to eat 73 chicken nuggets that night as well, because it's located right down the block from a McDonald's. That part might be made up. The first part with the hot dogs, though, that's not. That is true. More of your calls right now. But first, a super chat from Mother Effin' Chew. If Mateo knows pizza like he knows football, but pizza likely sucks. Here's what I think of Bang Mateo's take. All right. Miss me with that bang. More of your calls. The great Phenom is up next. Phenom, you RSVP'd, I saw, for the watch party.
Man,
Let's go.
we're in there like swimwear, man. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Everybody's on point. You know, we need to be able to play multiple styles of football. We need to play ground and pound after Thanksgiving? You damn right we might be able to have to do that. I want a balanced attack as well. Against elite teams, we better be able to be balanced if we're down a couple scores, which we don't see happening, but we know this is the NFL. Teams are going to come out fast on us, and we need to be able to show that we can come back and not just play one style. So, all that being said, welcome to the Jake. What is this, a comedy show? This is the Jake Asman Comedy Hour. It's great, man. So, as we're 3 weeks before training camp, it's getting ready to hit. We're getting ready to be here, guys. All this stuff, all this beautiful theory we've been talking about will come to reality in a couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to it. Training camp, obviously the watch party. I get to see this guy's face, that guy Jake in real time. So just looking forward to it, man. Hope you guys are having a great summer, you and your families. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and have a drink.
Let's go. Phenom, bringing the energy. Can't wait. One of the first people to RSVP to our event at T-Squared Social. It's going to be awesome. I'll have more info. I'm working on some celebrity appearances, but it's going to be a lot of fun. If you're a Jet fan, we don't truly care about the outcome of a preseason game. So it's going to be fun to hang out, shoot the bleep with everyone, have some beers, some good food. It's awesome. And there'll be more there too if this one goes well. That's why I'm hyping this one up. I want it to go well so we can have more throughout the regular season because it's a perfect spot for this. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is a man who needs zero introduction, but he happens to have 9 of them.
Well, you know, I've grown to love my buddy Alan, but South S has to go. I threw him off my show.
Bobby!
I heard the news. I don't care.
I'm sorry about South S, Bobby.
I don't care if he's here. I don't have to bother talking to him. I don't care.
South S has to go.
Well, if you want to take him off, go ahead.
I'm more than just a hat. I'm Bobby.
Yeah, well, with him. Get into the Joe Benigno, my friend. I love that guy. Well, I disagree. You know, they got to mix it up. You know, Rodgers, I think, is going to have 4,500 yards throwing.
Sign me up for that.
And 30 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. That's what I think. But the running game will be good, too. Allen and Brees Hall together.
You love Braylon Allen, Bobby. That's your guy.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good guy. And Carly did not eat 10 hot dogs.
She did. Why do you believe her?
Because you did it with the McDonald's chicken nuggets.
Well, she proved that she could eat all the McNuggets, so she wanted to try and go chestnut on July 4th.
You just took a picture of that McDonald's.
I almost had to give her the Heimlich, Bobby. It was out of control.
No. I believe her.
You're calling me a liar, Bobby?
I didn't call you a liar, but I believe her. So what day is this? August 17th again?
What day is it? It's August 17th.
What day of the week? Do you know?
Saturday.
Ooh, Saturday.
Yeah.
Ooh, me and my brother could go.
You can.
Yes, and stay at your apartment. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. If you want me and my brother.
Whoa,
Yeah.
hey now, Bobby. This is a family show.
I mean, hey, okay, I was tired last night. I thought that was Gary's wife. Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Very good looking.
Doesn't this mean, Bobby, that you should probably be getting more sleep if you thought Gary was a
Yeah,
woman?
well, I got enough sleep. Darn, when you took, the first show, you started early, took a nap.
Yeah,
I'm wide awake. Yep. So,
are you going live tonight?
well, let's talk before you kick me out. Then, probably yes, but let's see what else. Carly in the back.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you called in. All right. So yeah, you coming by my place after?
I have to work tonight.
Oh yeah, you're on the radio. I'll call in.
All right, give me a call.
I couldn't call in last night. They wouldn't answer the phone.
Tonight is just me, so we'll make sure we get you on.
Well, yeah, at your house or something.
It's just me hosting solo tonight.
Well, who's gonna be in the background?
My producer.
Yeah, the cool guy, right?
I have so many different producers on radio, Bobby, so I don't know, but I promise if you call, we will get you on Mad Dog Radio. All right.
Okay, and then you just talk about football, right?
Football, doing some baseball talk tonight. I got some
Yeah.
basketball.
All right. Well, I have to make sure when you talk about it, the lady said, "What kind of subject do you want to watch?" I don't know, whatever.
Yes.
I just wanted to say hi to you.
I think I'm
All
meeting
right.
with the Yankees tonight, so call in. All right.
All right. The Yankees lost yesterday.
Don't rub it in.
I know the Red Sox suck. I mean,
Right now the Yankees suck.
You lose to smelly Reds and the Red Sox. Oh my God! Do you know what I have to hear up there? Oh, the Yankees lost to us. Well, look at how many championships we have. Shut up. Just like the Knicks and the Celtics, right? It's the same thing, right?
Bobby, I'll talk to you later, all right?
Okay, yeah, on the phone, and then I'll go live too after the show.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I love the Yankees and the Jets, and to read the super chats are more than just a hat. Bobby.
Bobby Midnight, folks. Oh my God. Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent, 5 channel memberships have been gifted to Asmaniacs.
Oh, nice.
Here we go. You hear your name? You thank Rick. MJR, Mike V, Raphael Feliciano, Eric Malox, Double O Jet Fan. You guys are all channel members. We still need a lot, but we will get there. We needed 183 last I checked, now -5. So 178 to go until this will be added to the emoji arsenal for all the Asmaniacs. Thank you, Rick, for being part of us getting to that threshold. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. We have not heard from this guy in a very long time. A guy who used to call us all the time, and when he called us, you couldn't really see him. And that's what it looks like we have right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Weed the People is back. Hello, Weed.
What's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
Weed, where have you been?
My job and work schedule have been clashing with your shows on, during the day. I'm usually just late night. I'm up in and stuff. So I haven't been able to, really catch them. I've been watching them back, though. So I'm still supporting you. And I do what I can.
I appreciate it, Weed.
So.
Weed, hold on. Will you be coming to the home opener and hanging out at L5 again for the second year in a row?
Possibly.
Okay.
Like a 90% chance, yeah.
90% is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty up there. There's a very little that can ruin it, but I always save that 10% because I'm a Jets fan. So you got to save that 10%, of caution. But
all right.
As long as I can be there, I will be there. For every game I can make it to.
Everything else is good in your life, Weed?
Yeah, I'm back in Jersey right now. Winter's over. Cold weather's gone, so I came back.
Yep.
Aside from that, just working, smoking, living life, Jake. Living life.
Well, Weed, I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show, but we have a listener party on August 17th. I need you there.
I'll be there.
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, Weed, the people, coming through. Love it. Hit the like button. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats here. Bonesy writes in, Jake, please point out to Gary he's wearing his favorite GM's UDFA and he's about to order another UDFA in Gibson. It is pretty ironic that the guy who hates Joe Douglas more than anyone, his two jersey selections are two of Joe Douglas's best moves. You're right, Bonesy. Tony Adams and Xavier Gibson. But that just speaks to Gary wanting to zig when everyone's zagging. That's just what he does. That's all this is. That's all it's about. Kyle Clifton is up next on the show today. What's up, Kyle?
But you did get some coherent takes out of Gary today with the pizza, with Ellen Beans from Oni Gardens, and from Bang Mateo, because I know that Rocco's is new in Rockaway, but they do a good vodka pink sauce Sicilian.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want pizza in Rockaway, you go to Wits End on Beach 97th Street. That's the place to go. New Park Pizzeria in Queens is another place. New York Supreme near the Gardens, a place to go. Really good.
Is it Pizza Supreme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pizza Supreme, I think it is. Yeah, it's right below the Garden on like 8th Avenue there.
Yeah. My personal favorite place is John's on Bleecker, but I've had Pizza Supreme. It's excellent.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of coherent takes from the Asmaniacs today. Charles Gorman, I think he should do every call in his wife beater because he's never been more coherent on the football takes.
That's his uniform.
There you go. I think the two keys for opening up the offense this season is keeping Williams open on the outside, keeping it healthy, and having Rucker take the next step up. Because if you can disguise the run, and people are going to think run when they see him in the game, and he ultimately becomes a passing option, this offense is going to take a dramatically huge step forward. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, so it's also like we have an idea what they want to do. So much depends on the health. And it's not even just Rodgers, right? It's the health of the O-line, health of the receivers. What if they want to be a running team with Brees, and Brees, God forbid, had another injury like he had his rookie year? So it's tough. But what do they want to do? I think they want to be a run-first team that then Aaron Rodgers could dice them up. They should start to put more guys in the box to accommodate for that.
Yep. And I think that the element that Williams brings with the size and the speed on the outside and using both Ruckert and the starter together, that's really going to be great for us.
Kyle, good call. 100%. I'm excited for Jeremy Ruckert. I think he could play. I'm excited to see what he could do. I've said it. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe my eyes. Alan has chimed in with 5 channel memberships.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
Yeah. Alan coming through for the people. Unbelievable. Funky Fresh Frank, Yaron Abramov, John Williams, Kenneth N., and someone who does not have a name listed. So I can't shout you out, but you know who you are. You got yourself an Asmaniac membership courtesy of Alan. Wow. Here's the reason why. Jake, thanks for the HEB chips suggestion. L'chaim. You're welcome, Alan. I told you, HEB, everything's good there. Their chips, otherworldly. They make their own custom chips. Tremendous. Dano writes in, Jake, any truth to the rumor that you're the one who knocked up Margot? Here's what I'll say about that.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
No further comments. That's it. That's all I got. Purple Belt Mike with a super chat. Can we get a receipts emoji for all the RDS dopes? What would that look like? Taking receipts? Put like the Jet logo on a receipt? Not a bad concept. Mr. Bonesy writes in, Jake, there's a specific Aussie here who goes by a golden blonde beauty. If she read the super chats, you will triple the memberships. Well, if Sarah calls in and she wants to read some names, we will make that happen. Jay says Houston has no electricity now. Yeah, thoughts with everyone down in Houston, Dallas, all the areas in Texas with the storm. A lot of my friends don't have power right now. So, Jay, you're in Houston, right? Hopefully, actually, I don't know if you're in Houston, Jay. But to everyone who is in Houston and Texas, hope you guys are hanging in. Bunch of people still want in on the conversation, so we will continue right now. Radical Bongos is up next. Hello, Radical.
Hey, Jake. How we doing, man?
What's going on?
Doing good, doing good. I didn't know it was happening in Houston. That's terrible. I hope they're all, everybody's bunkering or whatever they need to do. But I just want to talk about the Steelers today and how they can't man up to messing up the Kenny Pickett pick. We took it on the chin. We took Zach, didn't work out. Send him to Colorado. He went to BYU. Probably has better friends out there, whatever it is. But the Pickett pick was just treated so terribly after they goofed it. Sent him to the Eagles. Can't be good for his mind. It's terrible how they did the kid. But it just shows a lot about franchises and how they really, like true colors type of thing. But yeah, that's my take that was my my team bashing for this week. Scumbag Steelers, of course, what a shocker there. But yeah, Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Radical, appreciate you, man. However they got to win is how they should win. As far as the Steelers go, let's hope the Jets beat them when they play. That will not be an easy game on Sunday Night Football. Jets should win, but that's not going to be an easy game because the Steelers always find a way to win games that make no sense in the regular season. Weed the People writes in, Jake, I don't care if it's ground and pound or high-flying offense, whatever it takes as long as we win. How is Weed the People not a channel member yet? Weed, turn on your gift receipts. Next time someone gifts a membership, I'd imagine you'd get one. Jake Quest, who is a channel member, says, just got back from dinner. What did I miss? 188 memberships get bought. 15 have been bought, Jay Quest. 15. Jay says, I'm back in Israel, but I was in Houston for a few days visiting my new grandson and my daughter. That's awesome, Jay. Congrats to you and your family. Mazel tov. Mitchell writes in, Jake, thoughts on how Aaron Rodgers was seen with MVS in LA, potential MVS signing when Mike Williams goes down in week 3. Couple things here. MVS is already signed to a team. He's on the Bills. So that's not happening. And the second point, if Mike Williams goes down in week 3, they got major problems. If he's not ready for the season, you rather that than him be ready and then he suffers a significant injury and he's out for a while. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Dominic Sports Radio checks in. Asman, don't be mad at me. Still love you, bro. Let's meet up at the Texans-Jets game this year. Dominic, come to the tailgate I'm hosting, and I got you, my man. I look forward to meeting you. For those who don't know, Dominic is from New Jersey, but he's a diehard Texans fan, which has always been wild to me. You could have been a Jet or a Giant fan, Dominic. You chose the Texans. But I look forward to meeting you, man. Landry Locker says good things about you. And Landry's a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Paul. He's up next. Hello, Paul.
How you been, Jake?
Hey, Paul, question for you. You got tickets for the Jet Texans game, right?
Not yet. So on
Did you do it with my group buy? I have someone down as Paul, but I don't have a last name. I wasn't sure if it's you or not.
No, so I'm on all of your things, Patreon and everything. I'm a subscriber to both, but different Paul. But I might go. I'm trying to wait and see what tickets I get for free from my cousin because he works for the Jets, so I play it by ear.
I got you. All right, never mind then. Continue with your point.
No worries. Just, the one difference of, the ground and pound, and now let's just leave it at this, right? Aaron Rodgers is going to run the offense, and there's going to be days he's going to pass his butt off, and there's going to be days he's going to run it down their throat. Every team they face is going to come at us in a different way. And the whole beauty of Aaron Rodgers is we don't need to stick with one specific way to go about it. He'll exploit anything. There's going to be games where they're just not covering the tight ends, and Conklin or Ruckert or somebody is just going to blow it up. If we stay the way we are, healthy, of course, is always everything, but there's too many options for that man to just not do whatever heck he sees what the defense is going to give him. So I think it's just going to vary. It could end up being that we have more running going on this year, and it could be that we actually have more passing. It's going to be production out of whatever Rodgers sees, and that's the bottom line: is how the season is going to play out, what the defenses give us, and what he's going to pop on them. So I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah,
always love you, brother.
I appreciate you, man. I think game to game it changes. The Jets had to ground and pound in 2009 and 2010 because they had a quarterback who was not very good. And I love Mark Sanchez. But let's call a spade a spade. He was bad as a rookie. He was average in 2010. Aaron Rodgers, blindfolded, is better than Mark Sanchez. So it's a different offense. And also, I don't think you could ground and pound. Once again, I said this earlier in the show. In 2024, the rules are too different. You don't get as much practice time anymore to really gel and practice run blocking. I think the way the rules are, you have to be able to throw them in today's NFL. The key is to be balanced. That's the type of offense they need to have. The big fella writes in, we can't see the gift receipts button in that cloud. That's actually an excellent point. Excellent point. That's why he's not a channel member. Man. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Spread the word to your fellow Jet fans. This is the place to talk Jets each and every day. If you need a new hat from Huga House, I got you covered there. Promo code Asman will give you a 15% discount with your purchase. You buy one hat, you get a second hat, 15% off. How about 30% off when you buy a second hat from Huga House? Get the hat that I'm rocking, Rodgers is rocking, a bunch of other Jet players like Tyler Conklin. He's rocking, Kevin from The Office, Shane Gillis, Shohei. They just launched 10 brand new hats. Get yours. Promo code Asman at checkout, hugahouse.com. Promo code Asman once again. Back to your calls. We go. Terrence is up next. What's up, Terrence?
Hey, what's up? I am having problems. Can you hear me?
Terrence, we hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. How you guys doing? What's up?
You tell us, man. What's going on?
Hey, I just want to say thanks to Bobby. He gave me a membership for Boy Green. And I want to thank, I forgot his name it was today. He gave me a membership for your show.
Alan or Rick Kent?
Say it again?
Alan, Rick Kent, Chef Kevin?
Yeah, one of them. I'll go back. I'll text it in. I just want to say thanks. Hey, my name is Terrence, guys. I'm a huge Jets fan. I've had season tickets for about 15 seasons, starting with, I think, Rich Kotite, I think it was, all the way till about Sanchez's, third season. So all those years in between, I've been going to away games, home games. I moved to Florida. I'm going to see you guys when y'all come to Miami. I have a lot of knowledge about the Jets in the past, so you see me come on. But the one thing about me is I'm very positive. I don't care who the Jets bring. I'm a coach. I went to UCF. I got a degree in coaching. Any player they bring on to the Jets, I'm gonna bring them in, and I'm going to give them positive energy and try to make them do what they got to do. I will evaluate them. After their career is done with the Jets. Then I'll say he's good or he sucks. I'm not gonna say like after like 1 or 2 games, like a lot of people do. So I was watching your show for a long time. I just wanted to make sure I knew all the fans that came on. So if I said something, I don't want to upset nobody either.
Terrence, great call, man. Call back anytime. I like the positivity. I can tell you, though, you don't always have to wait till a guy is not with the Jets to tell if they're good or not. I knew Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson were pretty good right away. Same with Sauce Gardner. So sometimes you know. Sometimes you know. And when you know, you know. And we know this team has a lot of talent, and now they have no excuse but to win with that talent. Period. More calls right now. B-Mac's up next. Hello, B-Mac.
Hey, Jake. Good afternoon. You see there, I corrected it for you at the bottom, 81-10. You know what I mean? I want to give him that extra credit there. And the other thing is that before I get to my point, Rodgers, stay healthy, please. I'm begging you. I need you to stay healthy, man. You know, because I want to see it. I want to see you play. I want to see you on that football field. All right. I need to see it. All right. All right. Sorry. I know that sounds weird, but I just have to see it.
And we get it, man. We have to see it too. We can't go through what we went through last year.
Yeah. And then the other thing is that for us to ground and pound, look, you need to have a big fella said it perfectly in the beginning. Just have a balanced attack. Remember, like in Rodgers' years, like 2011 and 2012, when he had to throw the ball for all those times, like throw the ball 45 times a game. The reason he did that because he had to do that because our defense was bad. We didn't have no running game in his prime. You know what I mean? But we did have weapons like the Jordys, your Greg Jennings, your Michael Finleys, and all that stuff, Joanna Cobbs. So, in the McCarthy offense, it was simple. We can play spread and you 5 had to stop all 5, and we couldn't because all guys can beat them one-on-ones. But now I think, you just need to, have that 49ers Kyle Shanahan offense, run the ball. Rodgers, it's over. So now, he can give you the quick game, and like you said, he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time as far as play action. You know what I mean? Like you watch his highlights, boom, play action, bomb to Jordy, boom, play action, bomb to Devontae. So yeah, man, just keep him upright, a balanced attack, and I do think your running game is gonna be underrated too.
Big fella wants to know, when Rodgers eventually retires, are you going back to the Packers or sticking with us?
I'm gonna stick with both. I'm still gonna be a Jets and Packers fan when he retires. So when he's gone, I'll still be popping on here all the time because I love y'all people and y'all are great people. And I'm kind of glad that he went to the Jets. So it gave me a chance to come, get to see your show and, meet all the nice people on here, me except for JJ because he's not nice. But yeah.
B-Mac, love it. Great call. Except for JJ. Tremendous. Unreal. Hit the like button for B-Mac. 15 new members in this show so far. Once again, shout out to Alan, Rick, Chef Kevin, and Bobby. for gifting channel members. In fact, it's actually 16 members because YouTube does not count any memberships before the show. So it's actually 16, even though it only says 15 on my screen. More calls before we start to wind down here because I have 3 hours of radio tonight because the work never stops, people. The climate just changes. And oh boy, is it hot as hell in New York City today. Keith Best is up next. What's up, Keith?
You think it's hot as hell up there? It was 110 down here with the heat index today.
Yeah, I feel that one, man. That reminds me of my Houston days.
Oh my goodness. You know, I'm glad I took a nap so I can get on here because otherwise without a nap, I wouldn't have been able to get on here. But anyway, you know, I've heard a lot of people over at the hospital and stuff like that talk about like, you know, like their days are over. And I just look at them and I said, you got to keep pushing, you know. It's like the Jets, you know, I said it this morning. I said, you got to believe. I said, you know, I told you on the first show I met you on when you let me on here 5 months ago, you got to just trust the process. Now, can you let go and do that? Because, you know, you can listen to SNY, you can listen to this, you can listen to WFAN, you can be driving up and down the New Jersey Turnpike. You can hear all the negativity. You can hear, you know, everybody. And I'm so glad I live down here in West Palm Beach and I can just sit back and relax and take it all in. As much as I don't want to react to it, you know, there's the trust the process. I've made some bold contributions on where we're going to be. And I probably have a lot of haters, but it's okay.
Who can hate you, Keith?
No, I'm going to stick with it, Jake. My Cuban barber that I've had for 25 years that doesn't speak English trimmed my beard today. And I can't speak. I have to use Translate on my phone to be able to speak to him. So he understands. I want this off or that off or this, you know, and it's funny because, you know, before I went into trauma on May 12th, I've never had a beard in my life. I was a clean shaven, walk into Manhattan office boy. And I don't know, you know, now it's like, you know, I go to my church on Sunday and all the ladies tell me, oh, don't cut that off. It looks very nice.
I like it. I like it, Chief. Looks good.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about ladies in their 60s and 70s, you know. Bobby, I want to bring Bobby to my church and he'd enjoy it. But
hey, Bobby, do you want to go to church with Keith?
Yeah. Can I do pizza takes? I forgot to tell you.
What do you want to do? Pizza takes?
Yeah, I lived in Glen Oaks. There was 2, Lorenzo's and Big John's was the best.
Thank you for that.
What kind of church do you go to, Keith?
Don't ask that question on Jake's show.
Okay, well, we're talking.
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby, did you clean your room today?
No, not yet. Soon.
Do you remember when you were a little kid and your mom put the 5 or 1 stars on your bedroom with the little pasty stars?
Yeah.
And if you were a good boy that day, you got a 5 star. And if you were a bad boy that day, you got a 1 star. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's see some 5 stars out of Bobby.
All right.
An emoji out of that.
Well, I got monetized already almost, so I'm doing good.
What does that have to do with cleaning your room?
I will clean the room too. So it looks
because
better.
then you get a 5 star, and we can make you a 5 star what have you.
Right. Asman.
Jake, don't forget to send me down the Asmanian thing on the email because I want to have my shirts made tomorrow.
It's there, Keith. Check your email.
I will. I just haven't had a chance.
Right.
But Bobby, I love you too. You know, you say
love
this.
you, Keith.
No. You say this to me all the time, and we're 1,600. Look, we're 1,600 miles away.
Right.
If I had a Gulfstream 650 XLT, I'd fly you down, Or I could ask Woody to fly you down here. No,
Woody
that's
Johnson?
no problem.
Nah, I don't think so. He's kind of cheap.
Don't start talking like that.
I know, but he wouldn't fly anybody down. I'll fly down some. Well, I might try to go to the Miami game.
What does try mean? You're either doing or you're not doing. Remember
Well,
that.
when I get monetized, I could do it.
My surgeon said to me this morning, you're either doing or you're not.
Oh, I have to agree with that.
Oh, you know I like the Yankees and the Jets. Can't believe Jake and Rogers met on more than just a hat on Bobby.
Now that was a call, folks. Shout out to Keith. Shout out to Bobby. Uno Jets, Super Chat, cuts the line. Jake, don't know if you already mentioned it. Bart and Hahn talked about you today. Revis and Cromartie's misunderstanding. Revis interview, go Jets. I did not know that, so thank you, Uno. I did not hear that they mentioned me. So I have to go back and listen to that. So I appreciate that. Yeah, but I talked about the Revis Cromartie stuff on the first show today. I don't know what's going on there, man. Right? If you watch the Cromartie interview, he only praised Revis. He got hired by the Jets to be a coaching intern this summer. So I posted some clips from that interview that was back in February. And apparently Revis has issues with Cromartie because that started a whole feud between them. It's not like Cromartie's anything bad. So there's obviously a lot to their relationship we don't know. So I guess I'm kind of involved in it because it was like my interview that set Revis off because it reminded him of his beef with Cromartie, I guess. But I don't know, man. It's weird. Love Revis as a player, but weird situation. It's funny. I was watching Hard Knocks today because NFL Network had the marathon for the Jets today from the 2010 season. And I watched Mike Tannenbaum get his ass in a car and drive down from Cortland to Roscoe, New York to go to the Roscoe Diner. So it all comes full circle. But I don't know. Weird. Jake out here starting bleep between legends again. I mean, last year, Klecko praised Revis. And Revis had an issue with that. And we didn't know there was a whole backstory where Revis thought there was some perceived slight from Klecko at the Hall of Fame announcement in January at the Super Bowl last year. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully 15 years from now, Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed don't have a feud on Twitter. If Twitter is even a thing 15 years from now. I don't know. Weird. J-Quest. I didn't have Keith tearing up Bobby on my bingo card. Oh, man. Hit the like button. And congrats to Bobby on getting his channel monetized because he got enough subscribers. I thought it was 1,000. Apparently, it's only 500 now. I really did. Gator writes in, there's a 4-year-old ham sandwich on the top of that pile in Bobby's room. Smells like hot garbage. Oh, my God. Purple Belt Mike, why would anyone not subscribe? You'd be shocked. It's hard to get people to subscribe. Think about how many YouTube videos we all watch before we even think about hitting the subscribe button. So it's hard. So please spread the word about this show. It's the only way we grow. Last chance to get in before we wrap up. Trevor says Sauce could never. I mean, I hope not. I don't think so. Sauce and Revis are very different personalities. Very different. Carly writes in, who am I seeing on August 17th? I have to prepare accordingly. T Squared Social, August 17th, RSVP in the description. Carly has to prepare to try and challenge Chestnut that night at halftime of the Jet Panther preseason game. the big fella, is Bobby bringing the orange chair to the home opener? Bobby, are you bringing the orange chair to the home opener?
No, how would I do that?
Does it fold up?
Yes, it folds up. I'm not taking it on the train. I might take the train down. I don't know.
Have you ever actually sat on the orange chair?
Yes, I did. Yeah. But I need it.
Can you sit on it now?
Not now. I'm not doing it now.
Why not?
I don't feel like it. I'm
All
not
right.
doing it. I would do it at some time. Maybe my 24-hour stream coming up soon.
You're doing a 24-hour stream?
Yeah, my friend Bad Dog does that all the time. So,
When is your 24-hour stream?
I don't know. I didn't make the date yet.
Right.
Jay keeps on asking me, when are you doing the 24 hours? I told him I don't know. Probably when I get monetized, like in the super chats.
You let us know, all right?
And I'm going to start doing karaoke in my show. I sang 8 songs to everybody yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, I like singing, you know. Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Got a good looking.
Nothing better than that. Bobby, I'm worried about you, though. If you do a 24-hour stream, I mean, you've already did an 8-hour stream and you thought Gary was a woman. What's it going to be like 24 hours in?
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Got a good looking.
God, man.
Calm your freaky down.
I'll never look at Gary the same. Oh, my goodness. Oscar the Grouch, please sit on the orange lawn chair. That's all I want in life. Bobby, I'll tell you what. You sit in the orange lawn chair. That's our next channel emoji. We'll Photoshop you on the lawn chair as the new emoji. Now that will be electric. Connor says, hey, Jake. Hey, Connor. Bobby, Carly just texted me that she'll teach you how to eat a hot dog, chestnut style, if you sit in the orange lawn chair. Carly writes in, can we stop with this photo? Oh, my God. What photo? All right. I think we're done here. I have 3 hours of radio to get ready for. J-Quest says Bobby is a businessman. Yes, he is. Connor says, where's the Panthers meetup? T squared social RSVP, people. We need to pack this place. I don't care if it's preseason. T squared is going to experience the power of the Asmaniacs. Man. All right. Big fella says, Jake, I do see another bun on that plate. She ate more than one hot dog. Carly, tell the truth. I'm telling you, folks, 20 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Uno Jet says, Jet fans are going to look forward to your show in the offseason. Well, that's the plan, right? If we're going to talk about one team year round, you got to have a show. Anyone can give you Jet takes. Not every show has a Bobby Midnight, though, right, Bobby?
Yeah, well, you said 11 the last time. Now it's 20.
20 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
You did not say that. You said 11 hot dogs. Go back.
Yeah, but you know what you said?
What?
That Gary is hot.
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Got a good looking.
I mean, come on, Bobby. That happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I've had my fun. I'll talk to you guys tonight on the radio. Please tune in. Call in. As Maniacs will cut the line if I recognize the name and where you're calling from. Mad Dog Sports Radio. Number to call, 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's the key. Peter says, Jake, tell Bobby to sing more. Great voice. Absolutely, Peter. Absolutely. All right. I'm out. Hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Spread the word, Jet fans. Turn on notifications. Make sure you hit all so you're notified when we go live. Thank you to everyone who gifted a membership. Thanks to everyone who super chatted. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. Robbie Sabo back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time to kick off a little Sabo Tuesday morning. So I'm looking forward to that. On that note, I'll talk to you guys soon. JETS, Jets. I'm stalling here because I'm trying to find something that fits what we were just talking about. All right, I have found it. Go Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Castro wanted Bobby singing more. Here's Bobby singing. Have a good night, everybody.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York. He's back on you. Running Trey. They do the there we are. New York.
Yeah, Bobby.
I want to wake up in the city at the sweet and the king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it. New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it. Anywhere it's up to you. New York.
Yeah, Bobby.
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Got a good looking.